talking like I got hope again. I'm going to end up dead. Oh, they want to be my... What's up, guys? It's your boy Emre. And we got Jazea here.
Hi.
Okay. And yeah, this is the VirusCrest podcast, or if what's left of it, because the other kids they all died. So
Tragic bus accident.
What?
I said tragic bus accident.
Yeah, they all died from the bus on the Flash. Hit me up if you know what that means. But yeah, we're gonna do something a bit okay, like could you not?
What? I didn't do anything.
You're okay, hold on. Alright, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So basically, what we're gonna be doing, I mean this is basically what the other podcast was like, but I don't know, we're gonna tell like stories, like life stories about like what happened and stuff. Like, if you guys know who Luna is, he's a YouTuber, and I got the idea from him. Like, shout out to him, because yeah, I like his stories and stuff. But I'm gonna tell my own stories, because I got a few stories in mind, so I'm gonna be doing that in podcasts more often, because I don't know, just feel like that's a pretty good idea. So Jose has a story, I have a story, and yeah, let's get on with it. Who wants to do their story first? Should I do mine, or you want to do yours? I don't know.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. So basically, I'm gonna tell the story of which one should I do? I'm gonna do the story of the trunk, when I was in like the trunk, well, the back of the car. So this is a few summers, a few summers ago. I think like 3 summers ago. We had this Turkish like group of some sorts, where like we would always go to like a beach and hang out and stuff. And so we decided that we were gonna go to a beach this one day, and we invited like two of our friends, family, like a whole family, like as friends. I'm talking about a family, And one of the families didn't have a car, so my mom had to get them as well. So basically, it was just a woman and 2 kids, because the man was he did like full-time like Uber type thing. So basically, we had to pick them up, because the woman didn't try and get a license for driving a car, or a car permit, or whatever. So she didn't really do any of that. So now she has a car, actually, and she drives pretty good. But anyways, yeah, so we were gonna go to the beach, and my mom was just like, we have to pick them up first. And I was just like, okay. So I take my headphones, plug them into my phone, because this was the time where wired headphones were still a big thing. And I plug...
Hey, they still are.
Oh, yeah, I forgot, bro, I forgot. None of those like rechargeable one screw, and and so this is what happens. I plug them into my phone, and it was like headphones, like actually like big headphones that you put over your ear. It wasn't like earbuds or anything. And so I plugged them into my phone, put them on, and I was listening to rap music, because that's what I always listen to. And so we decided that we're gonna go to the family's house, and we went there, right? And they weren't ready yet, so we had to wait there for like 2 hours for them to get ready. Because boy, if you know a mom and 2 kids that are 100% immature, then you just no. And this is what happens, right? We're there for 2 hours, then they finally come out, and they're like, okay, we're ready to go. And there wasn't enough space for all of us. I usually sit in the front because I'm a big boy and big boys need to sit in the front, and
You mean thick?
thick boys need to sit in the front because the back is too thin for these thick boys. So uh I go in the back. I mean, I go in like all the way at the back because there wasn't space. So the mother of the family, friends we have, right? She sat in the front because I mean adults have to sit in the front apparently, and then it was my sister and then these two kids. So they completely occupied the back row. My mom and my mom's friend and then the kids in like the back row, and I had to sit all the way in like the back like the freaking trunk. And my mom has like a Jeep, so like it's like not the roomiest, and I had to sit there like, so I was on my phone listening to music the whole time, and my phone was about to die, so I go into my backpack, I pull out my charger, and I plug my phone in, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna listen to music, I'm gonna look at YouTube, right? So I stopped my Spotify music from playing, and then I go to YouTube, and there's nothing playing, so I can hear everything, and I hear sirens, and I'm just like, what? I look at the window because I mean I'm at the back, so I look out, right? Um, and I just see a cop car right behind us, just zooming, right? And we're just like, what's going on? And I'm just like, oh, he's probably trying to pull us over, or he's probably trying to get past. And then so we turn right to the second lane because there's two lanes of the street, right? And we go to the second lane, and he turns to the second lane as well, and I'm just like, what's going on? And then my mom turns to the right lane again. My mom goes to the left lane, and the police just goes to the left lane as well. And I'm just like, oh yeah, they're definitely trying to pull us over. And my mom goes all the way right where like there's this little I don't know, like area where like you can shop and stuff, shopping area with like stop and shop and stuff.
A shopping center.
Something like that, but I don't know. It was just stop and shop and like a freaking 99-cent store, and that's it. So, basically, my mom pulls over. This cop pulls over. Then we're just there sitting for like 10 minutes. Then this cop finally comes out of the car, goes up to the trunk, and looks at me because you can see through the trunk. There's a window there, so he looks at me with like this death stare, and he goes over to my mom's side. My mom opens the window and says, "What's the problem, officer?" And he's just like, think about
Why
it.
are you smuggling this fat kid in your trunk?
Yeah, and then the officer was just like, think about it. Why did you get pulled over? And she's just like, well, I don't know. And he's just like, oh, you don't know? So you don't know that having children in the freaking trunk is something to be pulled over for? And she's just like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. Like, we didn't have enough room in our car and all that. And then the officer was just like, I don't care. You have to have some sort of way to have your children in one seat, not in the back. And I'm just like, officer, I'm too big to be in the back, and adults always have to be in the front apparently, so I can't do anything about it. And the officer was just like, well, I don't care, you guys have to figure out somewhere, or I'm writing you guys a ticket. And I'm just like, oh snap. So I get out of the trunk. There's like this manual open thing like in the back of the trunk, and so I pull it, and the trunk opens, and I get out, and I go over to where the kids are sitting, and I'm like, how am I supposed to like sit here? So I'm just like, you know what? Move over, and I just push all the kids, and I just sit down, my fat ass just there sitting down. And anyway, I'm just there sitting down. All the kids are crammed into one corner of the car. And so basically the officer was just like, okay, good, thank you. And he just freaking leaves. And I'm just like, what the hell was that about? And basically, the officer starts taking off, but he's like taking off. he's legit going like 100 miles an hour, and I'm just like, bro, why doesn't anyone give him a ticket, you know? And my mom's just like, okay. And my mom turns right and goes into like, you know, like the neighborhood with like all the buildings and stuff like that, or like the houses. Goes
Yeah.
into like the neighborhood streets. So like, and then she stops and she's just like, get back in the trunk. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I open the door, I get back into the trunk, and she's just like, all right, I'm gonna go through the neighborhoods. So like, if police show up, then just duck your head. And I'm just like, I'm too big to duck my head inside of this place. And she's like, nope, just you gotta find some way to not let the police see you. And I'm like, okay. But surely enough, we figure out some way of having me just you know, not be seen.
Stuffed in the trunk.
Yeah, I just got stuffed in the trunk. And yeah, we went there safe and sound. No cops pulled up on us again. And yeah, we had fun at the beach. We like hung out, and then with the car ride back, we didn't get pulled over, but while we were going back, like my portable charger died and my phone died as well. So I had nothing to do, so I just looked out of the window and I realized that people are giving me like hell stares, like they're giving me death stares. They're just like looking at me like what the hell and stuff like that. And I think that's how the police came, because I don't think anyone would go onto that street. But someone probably like called me in or something like that, and the police was just like, what, and came over onto the street, started zooming. That's why I said, you know, the police was zooming, because he was coming fast with his sirens on and stuff and his lights. So yeah, but I was getting like the death stare and stuff like that, but nothing happened. No cops pulled us over on the second run. So that's pretty much it for my story. But I know my boy Jazzy J Santos over here has a interesting story. I don't think it's a long one, but I mean it's an interesting story. So I mean, go ahead, you know.
Oh shit, the call keeps cutting. Goddamn. Alright, what'd you say?
I said you know, like your story shouldn't be long, but I mean it's an interesting story, so go ahead.
Okay, so it was in the middle of football practice, right? We were hitting the sled.
Okay, don't
And,
talk like you're going as fast as freaking sonic waves, okay?
Oh my god. I said, so it was the middle of football practice, and we were hitting the sled. And then next thing you know, the coaches, we have like, oh, there's 3 varsity coaches, right? So then one of them come over, and they're like, hey, there's this dude jacking off in the porta potty. There's this dude jacking off in the porta potty, watching the lacrosse girls, and he ran wearing a Ford Focus. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm over here thinking, if we had known that he was in the porta potty, we would have had all the football players freaking knocked over the porta potty while I was inside of it. Bro, I am horrible at telling stories. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, I can tell. But so, and this went town viral. Like it went viral in our town. Like it went viral in like the news and stuff like that, cuz what was it? It went all the way to the news. I don't know how. Like it went from coaches to students to freaking the news. So the dude was legit hiding in a porta potty, watching all the varsity girls and stuff like that, just jacking off.
Wearing women's underwear.
He was wearing women's underwear. You know, I was like, like what the hell? Like it makes no sense why he would be, bro. Next thing you know, he's gonna like come all over his body, then just strip naked, then like run on the field. You know. I mean, what? Like, what else? Why do you guys have a porta potty there anyway? Can't you just go into the building?
In case we have to take a shit.
Yeah, but can't you
so
just
we don't have
go
to go all the way into the school?
Yeah, but like, you know, at least it'll be cleaner and shit. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Yeah, I guess.
Boys' school bathrooms are worse than a porta potty. You know?
Yeah, especially in the freaking locker room. I don't even fit in the one in the locker room, especially with my pads on and shit.
Yeah. Um, I mean, this. What was it? Have you ever went to a faculty bathroom? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like the ones for the teachers and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I did. I
Then,
used it actually because it was my first time using the bathroom in school.
mm-hmm.
So I just walked in there. I used the stall and everything. Next thing you know, I'm walking out, and the teacher was like, "Hey, what were you doing in there?" I was like, "I had to, I was taking a piss,
Yeah.
He's like, "You can't use that." I'm like, "Why?" I'm like, because it was my first time using the bathroom. I had no idea where the fuck the bathroom was.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, I've used the faculty bathroom before too. Um, y-
Yeah.
I don't usually go to the bathroom whenever like I'm in class or something like that. Just if I like hate the class or something. Like, there was this tech class that I had, and boy, that tech class was terrible, and it was what was it? It was video game design and development, and I'm like, bro, this class is horrific. Like, we don't I thought like, oh, it was gonna be awesome because we get to play games and stuff like that, but the software we used to, because we had to make games, right? The software we used to make games was like, if you took Mario 3D and ate it, shit it out, then mixed it with some corn and peanut butter, and that's what you would get. Like, not joking.
What the fuck?
It doesn't even make
Corn and peanut butter.
Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense, but the class didn't anyway, so I mean nothing would make sense. So I hated that class. I despised that class. I tried everything to like get out of there. I even like, said like, oh, like what was it? I need to go to a nurse. Like, I look, I usually bite my nails. I don't know why I do it. It's just like stress, I guess. But I bite my nails, and whenever like I'm biting my nails and then like, accidentally I get some of the skin, then it just rips off. It starts bleeding and shit. And I'm just like,
Ew.
yeah, ew, but I'm just like, bro, golden opportunity. I go up to the teacher and I'm just like, yo, can I go to the nurse? He's like, okay, just let me write you a pass. He writes me a pass and I just dip. I don't even come back to the class. I don't even go to the nurse because I mean, what's the point? Like, I could just not. So, um,
You just rip a fat jewel rip in the bathroom.
just fat jewel rip. What was it? I've used the faculty bathroom before too, and it was during our science class actually. I had to take a poo, like an actual poo, and you remember? I don't know if you remember, but this one time I went to the bathroom, bro. I took like hours to get back, but anyways,
Yeah, I think I did that once too.
yeah,
Only because the freaking line to the boys' bathroom was like fucking 10 people.
yeah. So the faculty bathroom usually is locked because I have no idea, but I had to take a big poo, like actually, like I had to shit. And so this is what happens. I'm like, I told my teacher I need to go to the bathroom, and I'm not saying any people's names, because except for my friend, because yeah, he's low life, low key John Cena up in here. So,
Wow, low life.
yeah. So basically, I'm not telling anyone's names because then I could get in trouble for doing like for saying stuff. But basically, this is what I did. Right, I had to take a big poo, and I know the bathrooms in the boys' locker room, or not locker room, the boys' bathrooms are terrible. The legit like
I always break the thing, the thing that holds the toilet paper, that plastic shit,
yeah.
that weird thing. Yeah, I always break that thing off so I could freaking unravel it.
So, and I despise the bathrooms because you go in there, half the times it smells like nicotine, or half the time you go in there, then someone just goes right after you and that just takes big rips of jewels, and then it smells like nicotine. And I'm just like, bro, like what's the point of smoking in school? Like, what's the reason for that? Like, can't you do it somewhere else? Don't come to school or something. Like, skip school and do it, you know. But um, this is what happens. I go in there and oh, not the boys' bathroom. Sorry, I don't go into the boys' bathroom. I'm like, the bathroom is very like disgusting. So I go around looking at faculty bathrooms, not the women's bathrooms, of course, but I go around looking for the faculty bathrooms, and it says faculty bathroom on there. So I'm like, okay, let me go into here, and then I try like opening it, but of course it's locked because they're always locked. I try opening it, and
Yeah.
it's locked, right? So then I'm just walking around the building, the whole school, just to find a faculty bathroom, and this teacher is walking around as well, and he unlocks something, and I see on the door it says faculty bathroom. I'm like, this is my golden chance. And he unlocks it, then he goes inside. Then what I do is like, I don't know, there's I put like tape on it because I had tape on what was it, on one of my bands, my wristbands, because it was like always coming off, it was breaking and stuff like that. And so I had tape on there, and I was just like, oh, I could do this. And I took the tape off and I put it onto, like, I held the door open, like he went inside, and I ran to like the door, and I held like the little door handle, and I opened it up a little bit, and I put tape on the little um I don't know, that metal piece which like goes into the wall, and like you can't open the door even if it's locked or something, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, I know you're
open it,
talking about.
and the teachers don't have to lock it because it automatically locks by itself. I don't know how it does it, but the door automatically locks itself. All you have to do is just unlock it with a key, and then you go inside, do what you got to do, come back, and you don't even have to lock it back up. You just dip, and then the door, once it closes, it like locks by itself. Um, but I put tape on the door's little metal part that goes into the wall. I put tape on there so it won't go into the wall. And I closed it. I closed the door, right? And the I go to like the area where the stairs are, and just just so he won't see me. And he comes out because I can hear the door opening, and I run up to the door, and he's walking out, and he goes away, and I open the door because the tape was there, so you don't even have to push down the handle of the door. You just pull it, and it opened. Took the tape off, and I went in there, opened the door, and bro, it smelled like complete jewel. Like I don't know what the teacher was doing in there. I don't know if he was jeweling or another student opened the door and started jeweling in there, but it smelled like straight nicotine. And I'm just like, bro, did this dude smoke a ciggy in here or something?
A
And
Siggy. What the?
yeah, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just get this over with, because I mean, the faculty bathrooms are usually clean because people know how to like actually take care of a bathroom, and so I do my thing. Then I open the door, to get out, and I look around to see if there's any teachers. Then I go out, and then there's this one teacher that's like, I don't know, it's one of the tall teachers in our school, and he says, why were you inside of that bathroom? And I'm just like, oh, I had to take a poo. And then he was just like, yeah, but that's a faculty bathroom. And I'm just like, yeah, but I had to take a poo, and I know the student bathrooms are very disgusting. And he's just like, no, they're not that disgusting. Why'd you go into the faculty bathroom? And I'm just like, look, man, I'm just trying to live my life not being disgusted by what the kids do inside of that bathroom. And I'm just trying to take a poo and go back to my class. And he's like, where's your class? And I tell him that it's on the first floor, right? And uh, and remember, my science class was on the third floor, And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's on the first floor, and he's just like, what room? And I tell him like room 103 or something like that, and he 103 was it? I don't know. I told him like 125 or something like that. I don't know. I told him a random number, and so he's like, okay, follow me. And we go over to like the middle staircase at our school, and he's like, all right, come down here. And I'm just like, I can't. I need to use the elevator. My leg has a problem because this is the time when I like broke my leg on ice, and I'll probably tell that story later on. But I'm just like, I need to use the elevator. Hold on. Okay. I told him I need to use the elevator, and he's just like, "Why? What's wrong with your foot?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I broke it because of this incident where I accidentally kicked ice." And he's like, "Accidentally kicked ice?" I'm just like, "Well, intentionally." And he's like, "Oh, well, yeah, come down to the first floor. I'll be waiting for you at the elevator." And I'm just like,
Oh yeah,
"Oh,
that's when you freaking sprained your toe, right?
huh?" Yeah, yeah. When I sprained my, no, I broke it. It was completely broken. It was completely broken. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I didn't sprain it. Um, it hurt like a motherfucker, but everyone's just like, oh, whenever you break something, you always like have to lay on the ground. You're always like crying and stuff like that. But I broke two of my toes and fractured one of them, and bro, like it didn't hurt. I broke two toes. Like it didn't hurt. And usually like small bones are the ones that hurt the most cuz I don't know, there's more nerves there for some reason. Um and I mean, I broke my toe, but that's for another story. That's for another story, another time. Um but he's like, okay, I'm gonna wait for you on the first floor, and I'm just like, okay. Uh, and I was about to get like, I was about to go into the room where like the elevator was, but then I realized on the first floor, the room where the elevator was, on the top of like the elevator area, where like on the elevator door, it shows what floor the elevator's going on, and I'm just like, oh shit, he's about to see what floor I'm gonna go to, and I'm just like, all right, you know what? Screw this. I open the elevator. I make it go to the first floor, and I try to go up the stairs with my broken ass toes. I successfully go up the stairs, and I was on the second floor, so I had to go up two flights of stairs because for some reason it's like that's how my school is. It's like you go up one flight of stairs, you turn backwards, and then you go up another. And so I went up those two flights of stairs. It was painful because it was like, the beginning stages of when I broke my toe. Or it was, yeah. So, and basically, I went up the stairs and I go back to my class and stuff happens. No, I'm just kidding. Nothing happens. I didn't get called down. I didn't get anything. I just lived on the rest of my life. And I don't know. I haven't seen that teacher around at all. Um, Even if I did, I don't think he really cared about me going into the faculty. He was probably just gonna like go to my class, tell my teacher, and let my teacher handle it. But the elevator went down. I was invisible. So yeah, that was
and you would think he would have recognized you because of your big boy, you know.
yeah. Yeah. I would think he would recognize me because I have this hairstyle. I'm not gonna say what hairstyle I have, but I have this hairstyle which, like, you don't see often in the school except for one kid, and that kid, yeah, he got assassinated. So, um, so yeah, pretty much. And I was a big boy. I still am a big boy, so he would recognize me, but I haven't seen him since. So, and this was a while ago, so I went through the whole school year without seeing him. So I don't know how that happened, but at least on that day I took a big deuce, and it's pretty good. So
Pretty good.
and yeah, anything else you want to say Jizzy J?
No, not really.
Okay. I got a few more stories on hand, so I'll probably make a few more podcasts. I'm gonna try and get this thing going with one of my other friends called Dennis, right? Or Deniz in Turkish. He's also Turkish, and I'm thinking of making like a podcast, but in Turkish. Like I'm gonna call it like Turk Boys or something like that. Turkish Boys or something. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be for Turkish people. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make subtitles for it because that takes a long time. But you know, I don't know. It's just stuff. And I'll be talking about like times where I went to parties and stuff like that. And I don't go to like any like parties like school parties or anything. Like I've never went to what was it called? Like homecoming or anything. I've never went to any of that. Uh I only go to like parties which Turkish people do and stuff like that. So because trust me, Turkish people make a lot of parties, and sometimes the parties go a bit too crazy, but that's for another time. But I just want to see how the story thing goes out, and what the heck? Yo, Jose, you good?
Yeah.
Oh, it just disconnected
You see
for a
the
second.
call keeps cutting.
Yeah, it disconnected on mine too for the first time. So, yeah, so our phones are gonna keep disconnecting, I believe. So I'm just gonna like, you know, end it here. But it was pretty cool. I mean, telling life stories it's pretty interesting. But I'm gonna try to like whenever I'm telling stories, I'm gonna try not to, uh, like go on a different path of the story. Like whenever like I tell the story and then like I'm just like how this works and that works. Like I was here and that. And it's like you're telling one story, then you branch off to another story. I'm gonna try not doing that because then it just mixes up the whole situation. So I'm just gonna not do that. But yeah, I got more stories coming in. I'm gonna do that, and I feel like it's pretty good to tell stories on this podcast because whenever I tell one story, then I remember something, and I tell that as well, and I just continue remembering my stories that I've had. So, that's pretty cool. So more stories coming out. And, Jose, if you want to plot your Instagram or anything, go ahead.
Oh, my. No.
No? You good?
No.
Okay. That's the second time someone's, not said their Instagram on my video. Because, the first time it was one of my friends. It was, what was it? Kyleton, because his Instagram name is kind of mixed up, so it's like mixed up with letters and numbers and stuff like that, and that's confusing to say. So, and Jose here is just paranoid of porn. So, yeah.
What?
Just yeah.
I'm gonna get all those fucking those spam messages.
He's gonna get all the spam messages from people. So yeah, that's the end of this podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, goodbye guys, and have a wonderful day, or whatever you guys are having. I don't know. Some people might have like a second and then like die. So yeah, have a wonderful stuff. Goodbye.
When she want you just slap it off. What? Slap it off. Slap it off. When she call you just slap it off.